Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Sean, sometimes known as the Beast, and what I thought I'd do this time is I've had quite a few splits and reissues of demos and such like coming, so I thought rather than just showing full albums we'll go through a few of these. Anyway, first off we'll start with, whoa, very close. First one is the split between Anatomia and Eternal Rot. It hasn't actually got a separate name, which sometimes they do have. Anatomia are from Japan. They've got 4 full lengths out and they've done countless splits. You get 3 tracks on here. As a rule, Anatomia play a very powerful death doom, extremely heavy and riff orientated and just really solid band. The track Ominous, however, on here, the second track, it's very reminiscent of the type of, if you watched an old-fashioned dystopian movie, something akin to maybe Fritz Lang's Metropolis, it would quite happily sit alongside that, I think, personally. You know, I mean, it's not what you would normally expect with Anatomia, but yeah, it's really a really clever song. It's really well crafted. Yeah, it's something different from the usual death doom stuff that they do. And then you flip the record over and we get the mighty Eternal Rot. They've got 3 full lengths out, 1 EP and a couple of splits, including this one. And what you get with Eternal Rot is the heaviest, sludgiest, filthiest death metal you could ever wish for. It is absolutely, they are by far one of the best bands doing what they do. It's so heavy. I remember Liam, the Death Doom metalhead, once saying if a zombie apocalypse managed to get hold of a load of instruments and plugged in, this is the noise that they would make. We actually get an inner sleeve which has the Eternal Rot Boys on that side and Anatomia on that side. The artwork is, as usual, by the rather incredible Mark Riddick. Yeah, it's 5 tracks of absolute pure magnificence. It will end up in a list at the end of the year. Obviously it can't be classed as album of the year because really it's only an EP, but it's absolutely superb. It comes on one of the clear splatter smoky vinyl things I'm not a massive fan of, but we'll because it's Anatomia and Eternal Rot, we'll let them off this time. Next up is a collection of, it's actually the demos, all from 1987 to 1995 by the band Secred Crucifix. Now I showed one of their albums on my last video. They're from Finland, and there was some sort of like they were at the forefront of the thrash death metal scene in Finland. These are all superb. It's only black wax and the inlay cards have just got collage on and stuff like that, so it seems daft getting all 3 of them out. But there's a selection of the demos and also a couple of rehearsals, and obviously the production is of varying degrees, but it's a fascinating insight into sort of the development of the band, and the way it's, when you listen to them chronologically, you can actually hear as it's changing from more of just an aggressive thrash metal style to slightly more death inspired and heavier. if that makes sense. But yeah, they're a band now that I can't get enough of them. They've got another album that I'm waiting to get delivered on CD. If I can get the full lengths on vinyl, I'll definitely be buying them. But yeah, as a sort of like a little snippet of their career before, including all the bust-ups and the break-ups and the get back together and such like, and band member changes. Really, really good band. And again, if you're a fan of early death metal, this is well worth putting in your collection, because it's such a good, it's sort of like a timestamp from where they came from and what they ended up being. So that is the three, what were they called? Realms of the North, Volume 1, 2 and 3 by Secred Crucifix. Next up is another split that I saw mentioned quite some time ago and intended picking it up, and then because there's that much out there and we can't buy it all, I'd sort of forgot about it until I was watching Liam's The Death Doom Metalheads video the other night. So if you've watched Liam, and if you haven't watched Liam, you need to sort your shit out. And he showed this again, and it was a one where, oh yes, I need to go and buy it. And it came pretty quickly. It is the split between Night Hag and Burial. I keep looking down here for the notes, sorry. It's out on Rotted Life, and again, I don't think this is yours. It has, you know, it's called Utterances from Below. Very unprofessional. This is heavy death metal. With Night Hag, they're from the US. It's 3 tracks, and it's just brutality. That it's slow and ponderous in places, and that sort of enhances just how heavy it is. It's absolutely superb. I couldn't really pick which side of the album, of the release I prefer, because on the flip side is Burial. They are Italian death doom, and I would say the one main difference between the two bands is the Burial side of it has got more ferocity, as it were. I mean, it's not to a point where it belittles what Night Hag are doing. It certainly it doesn't. You know, you can tell the two different bands, but such a perfect mix of bands that it sort of, it just works really, really well. Very shiny cardstock with the lyrics on that side for Night Hag and the lyrics for Burial on this side. Well, actually, it says the artwork is by Samuel Scalise. There you go. I believe this one was just black wax. Yeah, just the same colour that wax should be. Although, to be fair, some coloured wax isn't bad, as we'll see shortly. But yeah, if you haven't heard this yet, I would highly recommend it. It's 5 tracks. I think it's about just over 30 minutes in length altogether. I think it's just brutal, but really done really, really well. And I will definitely be seeking out. I think I've got one other Burial release, but I know this is the only thing I own by Night Hag, so I'll definitely be tracking down some of them stuff. Next up, and if you know me, there'll be no surprise whatsoever I was going to get this. This is the reissue of the original demo done by the mighty Coffin MCH from up there in Scotland. Now, it's out on At War with False Noise, which is the label that a certain gentleman out of Coffin MCH runs. This is 3 tracks of heavy as balls death metal. I absolutely love. I've played the bollocks off this since it came in. Now again, it's, if you've heard Coffin MCH, and you're expecting the same as the full length, you might be a bit surprised, because for me this is a lot more metal. Not like new wave of British heavy metal or anything like that. There's just I don't know if it's the production or the rawness of it, but this is an absolutely superb release. Now you get a patch, you also get an extremely shiny sticker that was upside down. You do actually get a pin badge, but I've already put that on a jacket. The inlay card is, I quite like that. It's very just, it's what you need. Now this came out on a limited edition, which always makes me chuckle, a limited edition black vinyl. But it also came out on, not quite so limited, but still limited, coloured vinyl. Now obviously, because I'm an absolute melt and collector scum and pretty much think that Coffin mulch can do no wrong, I had to get both versions. But it seems daft showing you the sleeve twice, because it's the same. But yeah, if you haven't heard this and you're a fan of the Coffin mulch stuff that you have heard, you'll be in for a proper treat for this. So get over to At War with False Noise and get it ordered, because you're doing yourself a massive favour if you do. Absolutely superb release. And again, it's going to end up, I know it's a bit of a cheat because it was recorded a while ago, but it will end up on an end of year list somewhere. Now then, last one for this little update is also a At War with False Noise release. This is the split between Burial Rot and Eye Teeth. Burial Rot are from Nottingham. This is the first thing that they've released that's not one of the demos. Now I haven't heard any of the demos, but this is 4 tracks of just savagery, and it's every single instrument can be heard stunningly in the production of it. If you're that way inclined that you'd like to try and isolate the bass, isolate the vocals, isolate the guitar and stuff, look. When you put it all together, it is absolutely brutal. It is fantastic. Now, if you're in a mind of, I'm not sure about death metal, if it's too brutal, and this might change your mind, because it's not overly brutal. It's certainly got a level of brutality that sort of gets the riff face going, and the claw of death, or whatever you want to call it. You know, when you just sat by yourself, you go like that. Oh, just me then. Oh well. But yeah, it's just unrelenting from start to finish. Absolutely superb. Now, on the flip side, it is Eye Teeth. Eye Teeth are from the UK, and I was fortunate enough to see these gentlemen playing up at Newcastle on the same bill as Coffin Mulch, and I can't remember who the headliner was, because I sort of got a bit carried away after Coffin Mulch. But this, the Eye Teeth side, is pure ultra violence, angry, spiteful, hardcore punk. I mean, that's probably not what they class it as themselves, but it is absolutely. I mean, the longest song is 1 minute and 44 seconds, and there's 10 tracks on here, so you know it's not. You know, it's not going to be slow, doomy type of thing. In the thing, you get this rather splendiferous print, Burial Rot. You also get the rather splendiferous Eye Teeth one. You get a couple of pin badges as well, but they actually are already on the jacket. There's the lyrical side for Burial Rot, and the lyrical side for Eye Teeth. I believe this is only, oh no, it's not black art. It's another purpley, white, mauve, black mix type thing. But yeah, if you're into, or if you fancy the death metal side and you think, oh, I might try something a little bit more edgy, straight, I think is it classed as straight edge? And it's very socially aware lyrically and stuff. It's I would highly recommend checking this one out. So that's it for this little update of sorts. In the background, kindly gifted to me by our good friend Dylan HM2 Powell, is this little gem from Sweden, a 3-track EP with 3 bonus tracks by The Generals. First thing I own by him, and you know, if it's Dylan's idea of good music, then it's HM2, saturated, definitely superb. It only came this morning, it's been on pretty much all day, on and off, so cheers for that, Dylan, you're an absolute legend, sir. If you managed to stick with me this long, listening to me waffle on and talk out my arse like I normally do, thank you very much, it's much appreciated. We're going to draw the 200 subs competition next Tuesday, which I believe is the 2nd of April. It's sort of the 21 subs, 21 entries so far. So yeah, I think it's been, I think it'll be 5 weeks from when it was actually first stuck up there. So the sub count keeps growing, which honestly it means the world. It's so much unexpected and probably unwarranted, to be fair, but very, very much appreciated. If you found anything of interest in this little update, as it were, give me a shout in the comments, and you know, we can have a chat about flowers, unicorns, whatever you want. Talk about music as well, I prefer that, but, you know. So yeah, on that note, and until the next time, cheers!